Hello and welcome to Action on Cars. Today we have another AMG W205 Mercedes C63 AMG, and I'm gonna walk around it. We're gonna talk about technical characteristics, and then we're gonna get it out on the road and drive hard. Let's get started. When this car came out, it was a replacement for the King W204 C63 with a magnificent M156 engine in it. So it had to be really good in order to not let the potential buyers down, and this car definitely didn't. It succeeded a lot in the market because it looks good. The design-wise, it was accepted well by the community. Although, I don't like the fact that this design is too diluted. The C, E, S, they all look the same, especially from far away. You can't always say if it's a C coming or E coming. Interior was a big step forward. We'll talk more about that in a bit. The engine is the most critical part of the car. The M177 4-liter twin turbocharged was a good replacement for M156. It sounds great. Some, including myself, will argue that it doesn't sound as good as the good old M156. But it's really, really good. And this is the last king, really, of the C-Class. If you know what's coming next after this, 4-cylinder hybrid, that thing sounds like a vacuum cleaner. Anyhow, let's give a final tribute to the W205 C63. So this particular car is a 2016 model. So one of the early models. The car has about just a shy of 60,000 miles on it. It's in a great shape. It has the night package, which gives us some blacked out bumper and side skirt trims, panoramic sunroof, red interior, all of that we're gonna be reviewing in a second. It's a car of one of the viewers of the channel. If you want me to review your car, I would be more than happy. Shoot me an email or a message on Instagram. The details are going to be in the description box down below. There are a few things I would like to draw attention to. The headlights are, unlike the previous generation, are full LED. They're very bright, crisp. They light up the street much better than Xenon in the outgoing model. They got rid of the Mercedes star, at least. I think in C63 you couldn't even get the star, even if you wanted to. The owner has chosen optional black rims. I think they suit this car really well, especially with the night package, with the panoramic sunroof. They look really, really good. As we get to the back of the car, this is where this car gets even more confusing. From far away, it really looks like a mini S-Class, and it's hard to know if it's a C-Class or S-Class. For C-Class owners, that's a good thing. For S-Class owners, they pay so much more money, and they would probably prefer more distinct design. One thing I like about Mercedes is that they give you an option to fold the rear seats down, even in C-Class. That makes this car a little more practical. You can put your skis through. If you have a longer cargo, you can have just the keys in your hands or in your pocket, and then swipe your feet, and here you go. Very convenient feature when your hands are full and you have cargo. You can kind of walk up to it, swipe your feet, voila. Quad exhaust tips, although not real in that they're real, but the pipes, these tips aren't actually attached to the muffler, but you have two tips, and you do actually have two kind of pipes coming out of the muffler into them. So I would give it a pass. I think that this can be considered real. M177, like I said, twin turbocharged 4-liter stock. This engine in the non-S version, which this car is, would produce 476 horsepower. This car has a Eurocharge Stage 1 tune on it, pushes the horsepower up to 630. This engine is not exactly the same as in the E, because the E has a different turbos, upgraded internals, but it's very similar architecture. So you can push it to 600 safely. A lot of people have done it. The engine is not really known for any major issues, other than generally accepted Mercedes issues that come with the age, old sips over here and there, gaskets. Other than that, it's not known for any big failures. I would not push this engine too much in the C-Class, because this car, even stock, struggles to put that power down. It spins all the time. So tuning it more can hurt your 0 to 60, but it will improve your 30 to 130. So the turbos, as you can see, are what we call a hot V configuration. It's not electric assisted anyway, so some turbo lag is expected. Although I think they say that all the torque is available from 1800 RPM, so it should be very minimal. Transmission, 7-speed multi-clutch MCT. Also very robust, very sturdy transmission from Mercedes, is not known for any problems. Although the owner says that that transmission is a little kind of like not smooth, like for driving around the town, it's a little too aggressive. So it's kind of like it expects you to push it, but you can't push it all the time. Another thing I wanted to bring our attention to is the cooling. You know, the car does not struggle, doesn't have any cooling issues. You can take it out to the track and drive it hard, but you have to pay attention to the radiators to make sure they are really clean. And I can see even like this car, it has some leaves in them, you know, because it's all open for this auxiliary radiator. It's all open for improved cooling, but the dirt, debris, and leaves do get in them. So make sure you wash them or take a look at them before taking the car out to the track. The first thing you'll notice is that the interior has gotten really good. You know, compared to the previous version, it's a much more beautiful place. This design language, like from Mercedes in general, is really good. Everything here like feels high quality. There's like turn knobs, you know, AC vents, everything. Unlike in W204, you don't have to go up the ladder to the E-Class to get some of the niceties. A lot of options offered in the E were available in the C as well, like cooled seats, heated seats, and so forth. But the quality-wise, I would say the build quality has gone down. You know, that's among the negatives. This like iPad-looking thing looks like an afterthought. It's not really integrated into the dashboard in any way. You know, as this car's age, there will be like creaks, there will be squeaks in the interior, so you'll have to live with that. Unfortunately, that is what happened to the Mercedes build quality. The sedans were built in the States, coupes were built in Germany, so maybe you have a better luck with the coupes in terms of like the build quality. This is obviously not the latest Mercedes entertainment system. The settings were pretty extensive in here. You could adjust your driving modes. You could go from like comfort, sport, sport plus, even individual. You can configure. There's an exhaust button here. This was an option. This is not a standard option. So you could push this to make the exhaust open. Normally, like in Sport 1, it opens one valve. Pushing this button supposedly like should open all three, but the owner told me that this button doesn't open them all the way. So he has done a Rentec exhaust valve, which basically what it does, it forces them to open all the way even when you are not pushing it. Go for a ride. For now, we're gonna try the car in the comfort setting. The valves are open at the moment and the sound does come through very nicely. This car does not have air struts, but the suspension is adjustable regardless. It's a little, maybe like it might be a little stiff for some people, but hey, you could always get C300. The side mirrors are nice and informative. They're really big. We have like blind spot monitoring.
Front tires wear really quick because Mercedes from factory has a really aggressive toe alignment, so a very inside portion of the tire wears very quick because of that. It makes it drive better, but quicker wear. The transmission, like, you feel like it's really more of a manual feeling. It's like an automated manual. Like, you can feel the clutch kind of engaging and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Like when I got in and I started like touching the acceleration pedal, I was like, are we moving?
Yeah, exactly.
All the assists from Mercedes, like the attention assist, lane keep, or like emergency braking, they can be a little aggressive. You can turn many of them off, but you can't like turn some things off. Man, there was a little bit of a lag for the transmission to downshift because we are in comfort, but then it really threw me back in my seat. This isn't a lightweight car. It weighs like just a shy of 4,000 pounds, but it doesn't feel like that. It feels much lighter. Do you agree?
I agree, and that's probably due to the suspension.
Yeah, I want to move it down to sport. So just a little more aggressive than comfort. I feel my steering has gotten a little heavier.
But when you get it out on the roads like this is where it really shines.
The seats are nice, they hug me really well and I don't bounce around as I go around these tight turns. Downshift with the rev match, really exciting. too sad we won't get cars like this anymore. What a beast. I think the Eurocharge tune has really opened it up.
Yeah.
Brakes are nice and powerful, and it's, you know, in traditional Mercedes way, they're really easy to modulate. You do feel them. I've heard some people say that they're a little underpowered when you are on the track. You could get like optional carbon ceramic, but they're very expensive options and expensive to replace. But I think like for driving spiritedly, like on back roads and highway, they're plenty good.
Yeah, the easiest upgrade you can do to fix that is just to do pads and fluid, and then they'll be great.
Yep. Shifts are so firm and crisp. Downshift in the second. ESP was blinking all the time as I was accelerating. I like that the ESP, you know, is not too aggressive. It doesn't, you know, cut too aggressively, making the car jerky and dangerous. It lets you spin the wheels, and I'm in Sport 1, I'm not even in Sport 2. Kicks in to make sure you don't spin around. Man, that launch was insane. In the beginning it struggled to put the power down, but once it found traction, it like with slingshot. Oh, in Sport Plus, those downshifts, it's such a music to ear. Oh, so nice. Yeah.
Then you get into legality.
I'm gonna put it back into sport so that we can chat. Otherwise, it's too exciting, and my brain can handle all the emotions I get and, you know, speak at the same time.
That's the problem. This car might not be the quickest around track compared to like an M3, but this is probably one of the most exciting cars you can get for the money.
Yeah.
The combination of the V8 with that intoxicating exhaust note and the pure characteristics that it has when driving just makes this kind of a competeless experience. Like, you can't compete this with anything. It's such a unique experience that really is in a league of its own, and that's the main reason why I have this car.
No surprise that this car really like conquers the hearts of so many people around the world. You get to develop like emotional connection with it.
Well,
this particular car doesn't have heads-up display, but that was an option available. I really love that I see those kind of like fins on the hood.
go full throttle.
Oh, sorry, I forgot that we were in manual.
You're good. You just floor it.
Looking down at the speedometer, really like we're not going like, we're going fast, very fast, but the car makes it feel like we're going like twice as fast, which is really amazing. Over time, especially like in 5 years, I think the demand for these cars will be even higher. For rear-wheel drive car, honestly, it's I was expecting that this was going to be like dangerous to the drive and I would be intimidated. It isn't. The traction control does a good job of like interfering when it needs to.
Yeah, I think this is one of the best traction control systems that I've ever driven, and that really makes it even more of an enjoyable experience because you're not concerned about crashing. You're not concerned about what's the car going to do. You know that you can drive it however you want, and the car will make sure you're safe, and that really makes the experience just that much better.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe.